Back to you here on the Morning Brew for Thursday. It's April 4th. We're live in Albuquerque this morning at our beautiful studio above Lindy's Cafe. And yeah, I know, examining the pastry. These pastries are very, very popular.
They're bad for you.
Yeah, I know, especially with what we're going to talk about today. Along with my co-host, Aaron Muffaletto, let me introduce an old friend. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Gosh, 10 years at least.
At least. Sam Newton is here. Sam and I, radio colleagues. And,
long time ago.
And now you're a big author and speaker and change agent. Look at you.
Well, Mama said I had a face for radio.
Yes.
But I figured, I'd step out from behind that and start to promote myself and a few things that I'm passionate about.
It sounds like it's working for you.
It's working for me, and it can work for others, too.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, you have a website called gambleonyourself.com,
Yes.
and you've decided to help nonprofits with some of their marketing issues that they may have, and then you've taken on the role of a motivational speaker as well, and you have an interesting journey that you want to tell us about.
I do, Larry. Motivational speaker sometimes is a negative.
Yeah.
People think, oh, you're Chris Farley from Saturday Night Live. Let me tell you something, Larry. Something crazy. More than motivational speaker, I like to use the word change expert. And I came up with the title for my book, Gamble on Yourself, because I used to play a few, roulette wheels every now and then. And it just came to me that it would be a good time to gamble on me, gamble on myself. I was almost 400 pounds. And the best thing that ever happened to me, my wife was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
Oh.
Wow.
That doesn't make sense, does it? Best
No.
thing that ever happened to me?
Yeah.
Well, it was the beginning of her journey. And being married for 28 years, it was the beginning of my journey by default. I was almost 400 pounds. I had a 54-inch waist. Couldn't walk up a flight of stairs to
There's
save
a shot
my
of,
life.
this is you at your peak
Yep,
weight here,
that's
huh?
Christmas about 3 years ago. Yeah, about 3 years ago. I was almost 400 pounds, couldn't breathe, couldn't exercise. Now I'm under 300 pounds. I've lost over 85 pounds. I went from a 54 to a 44-inch waist.
Well, look at that.
And you were saying the secret to weight loss. Well, here's the kicker. There is no secret. And I did it without any products, without any pills, potions, or lotions. I did it by changing my attitude about me. And I did it by building a structure that would enforce that lifestyle change. Everybody wants to say, change your lifestyle.
Right.
And I still will eat one of these every now and then. I eat more of those, less of these. It's a journey that is individual for each person. Everybody has to find their way.
And you mentioned you didn't use any medicine or vitamins or anything. So why doesn't that work in diets?
Well, like Larry was saying, in radio, we were always given the latest product.
Oh, yes.
You, a brick phone.
Yes.
Me being the fat guy at a radio station, they put me on every diet you could imagine for free. I didn't have to pay, I'd just have to talk about it. So I had done all the major ones you hear about today and some that you don't hear about, and they never worked. And I was always a fat kid in school, and as an adult being overweight, it was even harder, to find clothes, to relate to people. And after trying all those diets, and why they don't work is they don't build a system to help reinforce what you need to change. And the biggest thing you need to change is your outlook on yourself. Not first the food, first you.
You can't change anything if you don't want to change.
Right. If you don't work on the wholesale changes to yourself and to your habits, there's no way just changing food is going to help you, because when you get off of it, like on that television show where they drop a lot of weight, a lot of those guys gain it back.
Yeah.
They do.
Because they didn't address those issues.
Sam, can you remember the moment when the epiphany occurred, when you just said, this is the moment, this is the defining time when you changed everything?
I was getting ready for work, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I have that picture, and that picture's not going to be on television, it's not going to be in a book. Maybe someday.
It's a personal thing.
It's a personal thing. I took a picture of myself at my heaviest when I quit getting on a scale, and that's when I knew I was well over 380, 390 pounds. I took that picture and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I looked at that picture and I was like, who is that guy? And then with my wife, once she got her type 2 diabetes diagnosis, it was like, okay, something's got to change. Where is it going to change? It's not going to be change in what I eat. It's got to be in the change of what I'm seeing in the mirror. How do I want to change that to the life I want to lead? How I want to be fit, how I want to think about myself, and help others too.
Now, did you decide to change the eating habits, the exercise regimen?
more
Was it a
exercise?
gradual process?
Very gradual. It's been over 2 years to lose 85 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And that sometimes is disheartening to some people. They say, hey, how'd you lose all that weight?
Right.
Well, it's been 2 years. And
Another
Yeah.
overnight success, right?
oh, you know.
But we're Americans.
And-
we want things fast.
want it
We want
fast.
That's the
instant
issue.
gratification.
Give me that pill, give
Yeah.
me that shake,
Yeah.
everything's going to be okay. But I built a small system to reinforce those changes. First thing, started moving. But I couldn't run, I couldn't exercise heavily, so I just walked. And I would build that schedule in. First thing in the morning, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk. If I take a lunch break, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk. And walking turned into jogging, jogging turned into running. As far as food goes, I don't believe that really we can be on a diet, because a diet it means denial. You're going to deny yourself something in order to achieve a goal. Well, that's impossible. So instead, I added better foods into my diet. So instead of just eating pastries in the morning and a cup of coffee, I would add maybe some fresh fruit to it. And then I would move along, and for lunch, instead of having the fast food du jour, whatever I could get my hands on, a couple times a week I'd bring my own lunch, a sandwich, replacing ingredients. Instead of white bread, whole wheat bread, instead of soda, tea, instead of sugar, sweetener. Little changes along the way that started to add up to bigger success.
Is there something that continues to motivate you? So every time you're like, oh, I want to go for that, and you're like, no, I'm going to do this instead.
That's the reinforcement part. When you build your schedule of change for yourself, it's just something you do. It's not like, I should do this, I should do that. And then at the end of the day, you should all over yourself. You know, you should have done all these things and you
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
It's more of, this is what I do. What do you do, Sam? I exercise every day. What do you do? At first, walking. It's things that you say that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And when a pastry comes along or something good, my birthday was just last weekend, I ate a massive piece of birthday cake. But the next day, I got right back to having some fresh fruits and vegetables and getting back on my regime.
This is in a time where we all want it fast and we all want it now. I think your approach makes so much sense because that year or 2 years is going to go by anyway. You
Yes.
might as well take a gradual approach to getting your health back and your weight down.
Making small bets on your health on a daily basis equals big change over time. And it's lasting change because you've reinforced it on a longer period of time. So it's easier for you to say, I'm going to be good to me today.
Yeah. And you
Go ahead, Aaron.
and you continue to do motivational speeches, and you not only started doing your exercise and diet, not diet, but watching your eating and everything.
Right.
And you continue to do that.
Yes.
So through your motivational speeches, do you talk about what you do now, or what do you talk about?
Talk about the change. When somebody says you got to change, immediately we put on the brakes. Change is a negative. Someone says, hey, you need to change what you're doing, Larry, or you're going to be in the hospital. You're going to have high cholesterol. Aaron, if you don't change what you're doing, you're going to XX. So we put fear in people to get them to change. So what I talk about is about making those small wholesale changes one bit at a time, and then building a framework to reinforce them, something that you can rely on. Instead of that particular type of food or diet product, can you rely on scheduling yourself some time? Can you schedule yourself some time to exercise?
Good for you.
Or eat right, or choose a different option when it comes time to eat? So I speak about my journey and how you can reinforce your own personal journey.
Let's take another screenshot of your book. I like the title, Gamble on Yourself, by Sam Newton, our guest today. And if you have a group or somebody that you need a speaker for a group, this is the guy right here.
Thank you very much.
And your website, Sam, is what?
GambleOnYourself.com, www.gambleonyourself.com. You can contact me on the website. And if your organization is looking for someone to speak about how to use the media, that's great. But part of that is finding your voice, and that's really what the book is about. The weight loss journey is one component of finding your voice and deciding to make an investment in yourself.
And where can we find your book?
You can find my book on Amazon.com and on my website. And there's an audio version coming out soon if you don't like to read, which I used to be one of those
Nice.
people.
The radio guy needs to do an audio
You got to
version.
use that voice and make sure
right.
they know.
It's great to see you again.
Same here, Larry.
Congrats on your success.
I look forward to coming back and maybe educating you about why these are better than
We
this.
should eat the oranges.
Yeah, give me more
See,
time.
we have
and
choices here on the show.
I'll teach you those things you're going to have to do to reinforce change.
Fantastic. Good to see you, Sam. Thank you,
Larry.
again.
Thank you, Aaron.
We are back in a moment with more on the Morning Brew right after this. Stay with us.